North Korea, often portrayed through the lens of its political and economic isolation, surprises many with its ambitious megaprojects. Despite facing severe resource limitations and international sanctions, the country has managed to accomplish feats that stand out on the global stage. Among these, 3 projects particularly stand out for their scale and complexity, often surpassing similar endeavors in more developed countries. These projects showcase North Korea's ability to execute grand visions, demonstrating significant technological and engineering achievements. Here's a closer look at the top 3 North Korean megaprojects that have captured attention for their impressive scope and execution. North Korea's Intercontinental Ballistic Missile Program. When discussing North Korea's military advancements, its Intercontinental Ballistic Missile Program stands out as a significant and complex undertaking. Much like its space program, the journey towards achieving a viable ICBM capability has been long, challenging, and marked by incremental progress. Early developments in tactical missiles. North Korea's pursuit of ballistic missile technology began in the late 1970s and early 1980s, focusing initially on basic tactical missiles with ranges of around 300 kilometers. This early phase involved reverse engineering Soviet Scud missiles, acquired through Egypt, an unusual source given the Soviet Union's refusal to provide them directly. The result was the Hwasong-5, introduced in 1985, with a range of 300 kilometers and a warhead weighing just under 1,000 kilograms of conventional explosives. The Hwasong-5 marked a significant step in North Korea's missile development. This success emboldened the country to pursue more advanced missile systems despite facing numerous challenges. Breakthroughs and the rise of ICBMs. North Korea's ambition to develop intercontinental ballistic missiles took decades to achieve a significant breakthrough. On July 4th, 2017, North Korea successfully tested the Hwasong-14, its first true ICBM. The missile traveled approximately 930 kilometers, reached an altitude of 2,802 kilometers, and landed in the Sea of Japan after about 40 minutes. This test indicated a potential range of 6,700 kilometers, enough to target parts of Alaska, but not the contiguous United States. The subsequent tests, just 24 days later, showed a more concerning development. Researcher Jeffrey Lewis estimated that the missile's range could extend to 10,000 kilometers, enough to hit major US cities like Denver and Chicago. On November 28, 2017, the Hwasong-15 underwent its maiden test, showing a range similar to the Hwasong-14 but with a theoretical maximum range of 13,000 kilometers, potentially reaching the entire continental United States. Since then, North Korea has introduced further advancements with the Hwasong-16 through Hwasong-18. The Hwasong-18, the most advanced, is believed to have a maximum range of 15,000 kilometers, capable of reaching all but South America. Notably, it is thought to be equipped with multiple independently targetable re-entry vehicles, allowing it to launch multiple warheads and strike several targets simultaneously. Acknowledging the achievement. Developing such sophisticated missile technology is a formidable challenge for any nation. North Korea's progress in ICBM technology, despite its isolated and resource-constrained environment, reflects significant technical advancements and a persistent drive to assert its military capabilities. While the potential threat posed by these missiles is considerable, the country's achievements underscore remarkable innovation and persistence. North Korea's space program. North Korea's space program might surprise many. It doesn't receive extensive coverage in the news, but it stands as a testament to the country's aspirations and resilience. While it's not on par with the NASA or Roscosmos, and a North Korean astronaut on the moon is unlikely anytime soon, the achievements of North Korea's space efforts are noteworthy. Early aspirations and development. North Korea's ambitions in space date back to its early years. When Kim Il-sung, the country's founder, was shaping his vision for the new nation, he included space exploration as a key goal. However, the tumult of the Korean War, which decimated the country and killed around 20% of its population, left the space program on hold. In the 1980s, during the later years of Kim Il-sung's rule, space exploration was once again prioritized. The Korean Committee of Space Technology, often compared to North Korea's version of NASA, was established. Despite this, the progress was slow, and tangible results were not forthcoming for years. The early rocket launches and setbacks. North Korea's space program made headlines for the first time in 1998 with the launch of the Kwangmyong-song, one also known as Bright Star 1 satellite. The rocket, known as the Taepodong-1, failed to reach orbit and broke up in the atmosphere. The North Korean media, however, claimed success, attributing the achievement to Kim Jong-il's leadership. In reality, the scientific community knew that the launch had been a failure. Undeterred, North Korea continued its space efforts. The Galaxy series of rockets were developed to improve upon earlier failures. Details about these rockets are scarce, as much of the information comes from North Korean sources and Western analysis. The Galaxy rocket series and improved successes. The next series of launches included attempts with the Galaxy 2 and Galaxy 3 rockets. On April 5, 2009, a Galaxy 2 rocket carrying the Kwangmyong-song-2 satellite failed to reach orbit. Another launch on April 13, 2012, with the Galaxy 3 rocket known as Unha-3 rocket and the Kwangmyong-song-3 satellite also ended in failure. However, North Korea's persistence paid off. On December 12, 2012, the Galaxy 3 rocket successfully launched the Kwangmyong-song-3, also known as Bright Star 3 Mark II satellite, into orbit. This satellite's achievement was confirmed by NASA, although it tumbled out of control within a day due to deployment issues. Advances and recent developments. The turning point for North Korea's space program came on February 7, 2016. The successful launch of the Kwangmyong-song-4 satellite aboard a Galaxy 4 rocket marked a significant milestone. The satellite stayed in orbit until June 30, 2023, when Hong-Wang-il, a director at North Korea's National Aerospace Development Administration, claimed it had completed 2,513 orbits. This success was notable given the country's challenging circumstances and the extensive international sanctions affecting its space program. In 2023, North Korea introduced a new rocket series, the Cholima, and a new spy satellite model, the Cholima-1. Launches took place on May 30th, August 23rd, and November 21st, 2023. The first two attempts failed, but the third successfully deployed a satellite into orbit. The functionality of this satellite remains unclear, but it continues to orbit Earth. North Korea's nuclear program. North Korea's nuclear program is one of the most well-known and contentious mega projects on the global stage. Despite the country's limited resources and isolation, its nuclear ambitions have progressed impressively, reflecting both the strategic vision of its leaders and the technical challenges they've overcome. Early beginnings. North Korea's pursuit of nuclear weapons dates back to the early 1960s, under the leadership of Kim Il-sung. Initially, Kim sought assistance from the Soviet Union and China, but both declined. Instead, the Soviet Union agreed to help develop a civil nuclear energy program, which led to the establishment of the Yongbyon Nuclear Scientific Research Center in 1964, and the start of uranium mining in Sushin and Pongin. North Korea's vast uranium reserves, estimated at 4 million tons, provided a crucial resource for their nuclear ambitions. Development and challenges. Progress in the early years was slow. By 1986, North Korea had built a small nuclear reactor at Yongbyon, intended for plutonium production. However, the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991 halted many of their projects. Despite international efforts to curb their ambitions, North Korea signed the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty in 1985 and agreed to freeze plutonium production in 1994, though these commitments were largely superficial. Breakthroughs and tests. The 2000s marked a significant turning point. North Korea withdrew from the NPT in 2003, and on October 9, 2006, conducted its first atomic test, detonating a warhead with an estimated yield of 0.5 kilotons. This was followed by tests in 2009, 2013, and 2016, each progressively demonstrating more powerful yields, with the 2017 test being the most significant at 50 to 271 kilotons, depending on the source. The 2017 test, described by North Korean media as a perfect success, signaled the culmination of their nuclear program, asserting their capability to produce high-yield warheads and signaling the completion of their initial nuclear goals. As of now, North Korea is estimated to possess between 40 and 50 nuclear warheads, reflecting a substantial achievement given their isolated status and limited resources. That's it for this video.